What up, Bulls Nation? We've got a live CHGO Bulls podcast coming up right now. On today's show, what happened in Game 4 of the NBA Finals? Oh, my God. We'll talk about it. Plus, is Bryson Graham really flirting with the idea of trading back up into the lottery with that 15th overall pick? Plus, what else? What would be the cost? Is he going after Illini star Keaton Wagler? Plus, our guy Gilty of that Bulls HQ, Discord, and Roundtables podcast joins us. All ahead next. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls podcast. Coming to you live from our Xfinity Loft here in the West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck Bulls _Peck, joined by my guy, Big Day, BAM! BAWL Sports. Willie Go Gottlieb off today, but you can check out those draft profiles of his out now and available free on that All-City All-NBA podcast playlist. Nate Ament, who we talked about on yesterday's show, the most recent one of those to drop. Give them all a view. Read his stuff. He's got a fresh mock draft, including draft night trades, available out now, allccho.com. Our king of controls, king of kings, king of storms, king of traffic, Steven. What up, Steven?
Rain, go away.
Yeah. I mean, we were sitting here on the set yesterday, me and Goat, and that afternoon storm came through, and there were two loud, like, cracks of lightning. Yeah. It wasn't distant thunder. It was like, no, our balcony got hit by lightning while we were doing the show. It was nuts.
Bulls finally get a top 4 pick. We die. That's what we're looking at.
I mean... And one of them came like 3 seconds after I made a joke about Jerry, and I was like, oh, God. I didn't mean it, Jerry.
Also, the next Jason Statham movie, Distant Thunder, on the way.
Tell me that's a real thing.
No, it's not.
Okay.
But it will be. It will be now.
I mean, given some of that dude's movie titles,
it will be
I
now.
was fully ready to believe you.
Dude, that is a cool name, dude. Distant Thunder is pretty darn cool. I dig it.
I believe that more than I could believe what we all watched in that NBA Finals game last night. What the heck?
I mean, stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, credit to Knicks for that comeback.
Yes, credit to Knicks.
And I felt a comeback of some kind coming.
I did too.
That Knicks team, this core of these players, whether it's this year's playoff run or in previous years, have shown that they are capable of erasing seemingly any insurmountable, turns out to not be insurmountable lead.
Yeah.
Second halves, fourth quarters.
Correct.
The Spurs led that game for all but the final 10 seconds. I mean, Dave, like what was so many crazy things happened.
So many crazy things.
In that fourth quarter. What was your biggest takeaway from that game, man?
Man, the Spurs aren't ready. I honestly said that in the Western Conference Final to a friend of mine that I didn't think the Spurs were ready to win, even if they go to the final. I was like, I don't think they're ready, bro. They gotta go through some stuff first. And this is going through some stuff because we've seen them make mistake after mistake after mistake in this finals. Just being a young team and a young coach team.
Yeah.
The coach also made a bunch of mistakes in this series so far for them. But, yeah, they've made just really bad plays and bad basketball. And that's the only way you give up a 29-point lead in the second half is you yourself are making bad plays. It's not just you're missing shots. And not just because the refs are not on your side, and they were not. Yeah. But it's also because you just aren't making the actual plays that you should be making out there. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is De'Aaron Fox going for that layup over OG Anunoby. When I saw it happening, I was like, oh, cool, yeah, get the ball and bring it. Wait, what? I was like, no. I was like, yeah.
Who?
I was like, all right. And when I said, this game's over. I was like, this is done. I was like, How you don't come back from this is exactly how those losses happen, is when you start seeing it in that fashion. When you see that happen, when you see the refs not calling over and back when they should have called over and back. I still don't know how they got away with that one.
Dude.
But But yeah, man, like they were for the Knicks, and the atmosphere and everything there was clearly for the New York Knicks, as it should have been. It's at Madison Square Garden. But credit to the Knicks, though. I'm not going to take it away from them. They played great in that second half, and they came back with a vengeance led by Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby. Those guys played really well. And it lets you know, like, it doesn't matter the height and the size, man. You know, like, it's no defense for just a great shot. There just isn't. I don't care how tall you are. And that shot over Wemby that we saw Jalen Brunson hit was crazy. The three-point shot he took coming out in that last shot was insane.
And everybody knew he was going to jack that shot.
Yeah, but it was just a crazy shot. But Anunoby right there, nobody boxing out, went straight to the lane and got that tip in, man. And even the last play that the Spurs had, man.
Yeah.
Like, shout out Karl Anthony Towns, man. Made a great play on that because they were wide open.
Dude,
it was a great play call.
Yeah, Castle on that curl.
Yeah. Wide open
was
going to
be all alone if that lob made it to him.
All alone, like nobody near him. There's nobody here but me. There was no one there. And so that was just really impressive, man. But the atmosphere, I'm sure they are going crazy in New York and having a great time. And they're one win away. They have been one win away before when they played in 94, when they played the Houston Rockets. But it hasn't been like this. You know what I mean? It hasn't been this close to it that they can taste it. So we'll see if they close it out, man. And it's going to go up in New York if it does. But still, forever. It's
so many different stats were coming through last night and into this morning about how rare that Knicks comeback was and how epic of a collapse it was for the Spurs.
Yeah.
This one came from our All-NBA podcast Twitter. Shout out to Atticus. The Spurs half-court offense last night produced 1.63 points per possession in the first half. Insane. It's their second best mark of any half this season. Not just the playoff run. Of any half this season, the Spurs played their best offense in the first half last night. Then they got just 0.69 points per possession in the second half, their worst mark in any half this season. Second best offensive half of the season in the first half, worst offensive half of the season in the second half. Nuts. I mean, absolutely nuts. There was another one that I wanted to track down. I think it was Tom Haberstroh had this one about the Spurs scoring in the third quarter, paint versus not. And
this is going to make me angry.
Spoiler alert, Dave.
This is going to upset me. This is going to upset me.
It's going to upset you a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
Because it like it's partially Wemby related. And then, man, like Wemby's fourth quarter, like obviously De'Aaron Fox is the biggest scapegoat of that because what the heck are you doing?
But say it.
But Wemby's fourth quarter,
bang,
he ghosted, man.
Bang,
missed shots around the rim, missed free throws.
Yes,
under 2 minutes left, missed them both.
Yes, he did.
But so here's that one from Haberstroh. Spurs third quarter last night, 0 points in the paint. 0. First team this postseason to go an entire quarter without scoring a single point in the paint. Third quarter, Wemby played all but 58 seconds of that quarter. Wemby was on the floor for 11 minutes of that third, and you scored 0 points in the paint. Look. Which, Dave, like I was watching the Spurs that first half being like, how are they hitting this many shots?
Yeah.
This is insane.
They were going crazy.
They were shooting a bazillion %, including from downtown.
It's an accurate
number.
And
you always say, this will correct to the norm in the second half. They're not going to shoot 80% from three for a whole game.
Yeah.
So what do? You
Go
take
inside.
those winnings, you put them in your pocket, and then you attack the basket.
Talk to him, Matt.
It was mind-blowing to me how much the Spurs, and then even once they got the Knicks in the penalty, they weren't going inside.
Nope.
It drove me crazy. And then Fox, that not just pulling the ball out and forcing them to foul.
Oh, yeah,
that was the cherry on top of my brain breaking while I watched the second half of that game.
That crap Sunday that he put out, that was the cherry on top of it. It was terrible. But, dude, that is insane. He played all but 58 seconds.
Basically the entire third quarter, and they had 0 points in the paint.
That is mind-boggling. like, are you out of control? Like, that's crazy. And every time I've been saying this about Wemby, I've been saying this about Wemby for a long time. And so I will see some people say, "Oh man, you're going on the old man rant. Oh, it's not the 90s no more." Has nothing to do with that. Watch the game. Watch the game. Clearly, he needs to be doing this stuff. I'm not saying it because I'm like, oh, I just want to see the big guys go inside. No, you do it because you're 7'4" and it works.
Yeah.
And he needs that as a part of his game because your jump shot isn't going to be jump shotting all the time. All right? You aren't Steph Curry. You aren't Michael Jordan. You're not going to be shooting over 50% from those percentages. But I know where you can do that is right inside. And then you can get fouled and go to the line. Like all that stuff. It's easy points, man. Set yourself up for those situations. Wembanyama has missed 10 of his last 12 shots and 3 of his last 4 free throws in game 4. That's terrible.
That's a choke,
That's
man.
a choke job.
That's a choke.
It's a choke job. Listen, and he's a young man.
Yeah.
I get that. He's a young dude. But I told you before, man, the only reason I judge him so harshly and so critically is because everybody was quick to jump on this bandwagon of, this is the next greatest of all time here.
Yeah.
This is the one, man. Great. If we're going to judge him like that, then this is how greatest of all times are going to be judged.
For sure.
This is how it works. So I have no problem with you saying it. I have no problem with you being like, yeah, he could be that guy, but then don't have a problem when he gets criticized in this fashion.
Yeah.
Because he deserves to be in this fashion. He has not had that game. I told you he had a game. That last game they won, he had a game. A really solid game. But he ain't had that game. I'm talking that unstoppable 40-point performance that he should be able to put up against these New York Knicks in this series, man. We saw him do it last series. I saw him do it the series before that. He ain't done it in this one, man. You got to come correct and got to come together with it.
It's the same reason why, he was certainly much more of a veteran at the time, but when LeBron choked in the 2011 NBA Finals, he got crushed for it.
He did.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
And also, to draw a Bulls parallel, Dave, there's so many similarities. It makes me think of the Bulls' run in that same year when they played and lost to the Heat in 5 in the conference finals. Derrick Rose, 22 years old.
Yeah.
Youngest MVP in the league, freshly, while they were playing their second round playoff series. Wemby, 22 years old, third year in the league, finished top 3 in MVP voting.
Yeah.
And when the Bulls blow out Miami in game 1 and everybody's like starting to play in the parade, and then the Heat win 4 straight, LeBron switched on to D Rose defensively.
Over.
Shut him down.
Yeah.
And look, for all Bulls fans saying, like, look, that Miami team just stacked. More talented. They executed better. Yeah. And D Rose didn't have enough help. You heard some of those conversations. You also heard, where did the MVP Derrick Rose go in games 2, 3, 4, and 5? He was still putting up numbers and still doing what he could.
Sure.
And those were close games. The Bulls had chances to win, I think, 3 of those 4 games that they lost.
Yes.
But when you come up short, when your name is next to an MVP award, regardless of how old you are, that is what people will hold you to.
Yeah. And Danny, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say that in the words of the great Stacey King. It's a simple game. You know what I mean? Like, it's a simple game. And to your point, Matt, like a stacked Heat team with all of that, can I just say, and I'm going to say it again, West is overrated. I said it. It is.
Dave coming in hot.
It's overrated.
Abolish the West.
I'm just, listen, man, like, because go back and look at your finals matchups from 2021. I'm not counting the bubble, all right?
Yeah.
But start your finals matchups from 2021. The Knicks win this, it is 3-3. That's all I'm telling you. Like, because once you get on the floor and you've got to play for something, then it's got to matter, all right? Then you see guys playing differently. On paper, the Spurs look like they should be dominating. People were predicting sweeps, all right? On paper, it should be like that. On paper, you should have saw OKC whoop the dog mess out of the Indiana Pacers. But what you see, you saw injury be the reason why they walked away with that victory, and that was a close game, by the way. In that game 7, that was a very close game. Listen, of course they have more talent as far as the teams that they have. That's not what I'm saying. But to act like it's like here and it's here when them guys are playing each other in the finals, it is not. All right? It is closer because you're playing for something. Things change when you're playing for something, and you got to get out there and work as a team and work as a unit out there on the floor. So don't nobody come to me with this, well, dude, the Spurs are young, because none of them people telling me that were saying that before the series started. Everybody was like, no, it's going to be the Spurs. The Spurs got this, man. It ain't going to be a thing. And it wasn't until the day of that I was like, I don't know, I think the Knicks might win this. And I tweeted that. I was like, I think the Knicks might win this, man. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. I'm telling you, man, like, you got to get on the floor and you got to play. All right. And for me, just handing dudes titles and trophies without them actually earning it is not a thing for me.
There's the reason you play the games, man.
There's the reason you play,
and,
bro.
You know, Strick, shout out to our guy in the chat saying age, bad coaching, and lack of vets. You know, people saying, Spurs, they're just too young. They're not ready yet. Their veteran floor general, Darryn Fox, was the one committing most of the flagrant mistakes, mental mistakes. It wasn't just that one final possession where instead of pulling the ball out and forcing the Knicks to foul them, so maybe you hit your free throws, you're up 3, at handing the Knicks the final possession. But just unforced turnovers down the stretch of that game, several in the second half. That's your veteran leader making mental mistakes. So, look, who knows? I still don't think the series is over. I think it is very hard to come back from blowing a game like that.
Very difficult.
But
we've seen it happen. And who did it? An Eastern Conference team. It can definitely happen, though. It can happen. Hey, Julia.
With that, we got to knock out our first ad break. We'll come back to the other side and dive more into that report from yesterday about Bryson calling maybe, saying, hey, who wants pick 15? Because I want a higher pick than that. Hit that like button. It's free. We'll be right back. Hey, Bulls Nation. Thank you. Thank you for being part of the CHGO community. We're always looking to improve our shows and better understand how you listen and what you value most. That's why we've launched a quick survey. Your feedback helps us shape the content that you love and hopefully make it even better. It only takes a few minutes to fill out, but it makes a really big impact. So take a moment, head to allchgo.com/contest and let your voice be heard. Maybe your voice is saying, hey, that Steven guy who occasionally produces Bulls shows, where's he at?
That guy sucks.
That guy's great.
He stinks.
Or, man, Big Dave's hats are great. What a wonderful variety.
Thank you.
Here's our favorite segment. Here's a segment I don't like. Whatever you want, let them know in that survey. Respondents have a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card just by filling out the survey. Nice. So do it and know that we appreciate you.
You know, you got dreams. People got dreams, goals, things they want to do. One dream I know Steven has, he wants to start his own business. He's wanted to start his own business since he was 6 years old. He has that on his Christmas list. Right next to his favorite toy is, I want to start my own business. Well, then his mother saw into the future and said, you know what you're going to need? Shopify. He said, what do you mean Shopify? It's not created yet, but mom knows best. And so you listen to her because she knows what you're talking about, and she's right. It is the e-commerce platform behind millions and millions of businesses around the world, and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States of America. Shopify even powers the CHGO merch store. Kapow! Right there on his hat, ladies and gentlemen. They got you covered with website creation, product description, email, and social media marketing, and much, much more. So go ahead and turn that big business idea into cold, hard paper. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity.
CHGO Bulls rolling along here Thursday afternoon. Peck, Big Dave, our guy Steven hanging out with us on the controls. Thanks for being here with us, Bulls Nation. Hit the like if you didn't do it during the ad break. Quickly before we shift gears to talk NBA draft and the latest intel on what Bryson Graham and the Bulls are thinking. Shout out to Julia, who said, I despise the Knicks. Yep. Yeah. Look, I've seen a lot of people, even some Bulls fans, say, you know, dude, it's been forever. Like, honestly, part of me will be happy for the Knicks fans if they win this. I won't. Like, I'm like Team Spurs all day until this series is over. I will not feel any amount of joy for Knicks fans, and it doesn't help their cause that there are just countless videos coming out over the past week of Knicks fans being terrible human beings in the streets of New York.
That's real.
The way that they're treating Spurs fans when they come across one. Yeah. How dare you? Violence. You know, I might mutter something mean under my breath when I see a Packers fan walking by in the streets of Chicago. I'm not going to go up and, light them on fire or punch them in the face. Right. That would be excessive.
How about throwing eggs at Victor Wembanyama?
I mean, come on, man.
Like, you know what I mean?
So, yeah, you can miss me with this whole Knicks fans deserve this thing. Yeah. Because with their behavior, they are proving very much so that they do not.
Yeah, I feel nothing. Like, if they win, shout out to them. But you're not going to see me celebrating and doing anything like that. You know what I mean? I know how to separate the fandom from the actual basketball. I can talk about the basketball
for sure
and be like, oh, this is incredible.
And credit
basketball.
to the Knicks for playing as well as they have through this whole playoff run.
Incredible in this run, man. But see, I can say those things and still at the same time be like, suck it, Knicks, at the same time. Like, you can do both. You know what I mean? It's two things, guys. I can do both. No, I don't have any love for them. You know what I mean? I have no love for the Knicks. That is very well documented, but continue to document it. Put it down. You know what I'm saying? Write it in red. Like, it's all good. But
Starks was up on that baseline floor again last night.
Oh, I saw it.
He was trying to call charges.
Seriously.
For the officials.
I'm like, why
he was
this
making
not a
Joey Crawford-sized gesticulations on that baseline last night.
How is this not a technical foul? I just don't understand. How is this not a tech? But the question is, Matt, Game 5.
Yeah.
I mean, going in, you think it's over?
No.
You think the Spurs win this? Okay.
I very much thought that the Spurs were going to get at least one, if not both, in the Garden. I really did. And they clearly should have.
They should have, yeah.
If they just execute a little bit better down the stretch of these games. Like, absolutely. They have the talent, and they have shown before. They showed in the OKC series. They're not afraid.
Yeah.
Young as they are, they show poise in big, tough moments. Last night, they did not.
Yeah, true. True indeed.
I ain't heard no fat lady.
They ain't sung yet, so it'll be interesting if they win, because Game 6 will be the hottest ticket on planet Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if they win again,
yeah.
man. Also, that game, the most watched NBA Finals game since 1998. Hey, what happened in 1998 there, Matt? I wonder.
Bulls Jazz? Part 2? Yeah. Okay. Most watched Game 3 since 98.
98.
Insane.
98. Most watched Finals games since 1998, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, that is also, I know the league is happy.
Oh, for sure.
You know, with all of this, you know, just bringing more faces and more celebrities to the game and all this other stuff. So, you know, that's great stuff, man.
I'm like, dude, get Spurs take Game 5. I'm not ready for this to be over.
Yeah, I don't want it to be over. I want it to be over, man.
I want more.
We'll see if the Knicks want to put the hammer down.
Full-on NBA playoffs junkie.
Yeah. One more.
My veins are tapped, but I still need more.
I need more, man. We need more.
With that, we also are NBA draft junkies around here.
Yeah.
And Dave, Goat and I were talking a little bit on yesterday's show. Well, we did a closer look on Nate Ament, Tennessee forward, who maybe has fallen to 15. So there's that part. But we also just dabbled in, but I wanted to revisit today that report in that same write-up from Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, that there's word going around other NBA teams and executives that Bryson Graham might be trying to move up, and not from number 4, but moving back into the lottery with a trade involving pick 15 and fill in the blank, because he really wants to go get one of these top-tier guards that are likely going to go from picks 5 through 10 or 11.
Sure.
In case you missed it, here's what Siegel had in that report. Rival teams and personnel continue to talk about the Bulls exploring possible avenues to move up from the number 15 pick, potentially adding another top 10 selection. If the Bulls were to trade up in the top 10, multiple personnel have stated that they believe such a move would be made for Illinois guard Keaton Wagler. There were a few other pieces of context in that report that we can get into, but Dave, instant reaction when you hear that?
I'm about that life.
Dave's about that life.
You know I'm about that life with Keaton Wagler, baby. I'm about it. Look, y'all, if you don't know how I feel about Keaton Wagler, Steven, I don't know if you know this, but I am a fan. I am a big fan of him, man, in his game. I was just watching some stuff on him yesterday. And also, this is also like, it would be a matter of trying to figure out the show, things we want to do. And that's why I didn't say anything on it, because I was like, oh, yeah, I already know what we're going to do today. I already know it's going to go. And then Matt said, hey, and then told me exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought we were going to do. And I knew we were going to talk Keegan today. So I would be excited if they get that young man. I just think he has some special stuff. You can't speed him up. He's a step ahead already at the young age that he is. He's a step ahead of guys on the floor. He's got a bag, man. He really does. He can shoot that three, and he can find that open man, and he makes the right play. He makes those real critical right plays. Like, it's those little tiny things of knowing what side to bring the ball up on, or what little thing to set up, or who hasn't had a shot yet, or I know what shot I'm about to get because that step back that he got is pretty nasty as well. Like, I just really like his game. So if they're going to move up to get him, I'm all for it. And for people who aren't against it, in my opinion, my first question when I'm thinking of this is there somebody at 15 that you think is better than him? I'm going to need you to point that person out to me because I ain't seen it. Because the Bulls need to be not drafting for a position. I'm not worried about a center. I want a center, sure. I'm not worried about a center. You don't draft for a position right now. You're into taking best player available. If I'm taking best player available, who is better than Wagler? If you're going to give me a cuff and give me that argument, cool. Then give me him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm with that. But it can't be, well, God, we need a center. We should stay here at 15 and not do anything and just draft that person. No. You need talent and lots of it on this team. You know, you need 2 big handfuls of talent. And the Bulls don't have that right now. So if you can get that opportunity to move up along with your number 4 pick, picking up this kind of guard and putting them on your team and letting them run things, I'm all for it. Now, obviously, he's going to have to change his number. He's going to have to change that number immediately if he's going to come in here and be that. But the skill, man, I don't think you can really deny the skill of this young man and watching him play. If you want to just watch one game of him, go watch the 46-point game. It was the smoothest 46 points you want to see. Like, the three-point shot was on point and on par and everything like that. But just watch how he was controlling the game within that 46 points, man. It was just quiet and smooth. And that is how he plays. And that has always excited me about him as a guy that young, having that kind of IQ. Like, it's impressive to me when I watch him play, bro. It's not like A-Cup where it's balls to the wall, you know, going hard and strong. It's not a diss. I'm just telling you, like, it's just a different kind of game that he plays and uses his 6'6" frame when it's time to use that 6'6" frame. And he can score with either hand as well, man, because when he makes that crossover and gets to the lane, you don't know if he's going to finish with the left or the right, or if he's going to hit you with a stop, spin, turn around, fade away. He's got that already. That's impressive. Like, it's impressive to sit there and watch him play, bro, to the point where I was over here like, nah, I might take him over Peterson. I don't feel that way no more because I said, give me some time. That's how I felt at that point in time. I don't feel that way no more. You take Peterson, obviously. But the dude is special. He has some special stuff to him. If the Bulls are going to make a trade, Matt, and trade up for him, I'm all for it, bro.
Eco in the chat asking, if you move up for Wagler, what do you do with Giddy? I mean, that's for Bryson Graham to figure out.
You did?
If Bryson Graham is the one who wants to move up for Keaton Wagler.
Right.
And it's so funny that the past couple of weeks, Bulls fans all trying to play dime psychologist to what Bryson Graham is thinking.
Sure.
Because, we could read these various reports and whispers about what's been going around league circles and who's calling whom about this pick or that pick. We won't know. Most likely we won't know until some of these draft nights trades go down, if they do go down. That one other domino that Goat and I also touched on yesterday's show is maybe it sounds like Giannis might actually get moved before draft night because the Bucks want to have their pick sorted out.
Yeah.
So we'll see there. But when it comes to Bryson doing this, and Swayze in the chat saying, I believe you definitely try to move up in this draft to get what you want if you feel like the next year's draft class is nowhere near as good.
Yeah.
I think there's perfect logic to that argument. Yeah. It's just a matter of, does that fit into what Bryson has said holistically about his approach coming in and taking this job starting with year one, which is we are going to take our time and do things methodically and not try to skip any steps.
Yeah.
Is trading up from 15 for another lottery pick in the top 10 and what that costs, skipping steps? Or is that different than going out and like spending big with your incoming salary cap space on a more veteran win now talent? In a way that sounds very much like skipping steps. Like, they're two different things,
sure.
But are they both jumping the gun a little bit for where this team is?
That's a fair question. For me, if your job is to put the best talent that you can on your roster, then I don't see it as skipping steps. If skipping steps, Matt, is going and getting Giannis, that's your skipping step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's skipping a step. But if it's like, hey, I want to just go get this young ball player who I think is really good and put him on my basketball team who will also be a rookie along with the number 4 pick, how is that skipping a step? You're just skipping order in the draft. That's all you're doing. But no, it's not skipping a step at all. And obviously to make this trade, you're going to have to be giving up some assets for sure. So you're actually giving up some players on your team, some young talent that you feel is on your team, because it has to be talent, obviously, to get high up to get a guy like Wagler or A-Cup Jr. You're going to have to give up something on your squad. So that's not skipping a step at all. Like, that is like, hey, here's some young talent and let me try to get up and get some more young talent that I like. That's how you're supposed to do it.
As far as giving up talent and some that might be on your roster right now, Danny STG Bulls in the chat saying number 15 pick, Giddy, and then pick 38 to move up to number 5, which would be that Clippers pick. Giddy fits with the Clippers. Maybe you could make the argument that based on what the Clippers have right now, I think the Clippers have a lot of unknown answers in their short-term future.
Yeah.
If you are a Bulls fan who has not been convinced at any point over the last 2 years that Giddy is a piece you want to be building with to try and build a contender, then that sounds great because it doesn't feel like you're necessarily giving up one of the pieces you really want to keep.
Yeah.
It sounds like that to the Clippers too. Like again, this is not any sort of like Giddy hater parade. Like I am just basing this on what we have heard around NBA circles and how people in the league value players in the league.
Yeah.
Giddy and 15 is not moving you up to number 5.
That's a fact.
It's just not.
Yeah.
It's probably not moving you into the top 10. It's probably not going to help you move up at all.
Yeah.
And I'm just calling him like I see him.
Yeah. It's a hypothetical. We can see it like that. Go ahead,
Yeah, I was just going to ask you guys, would you risk moving a future first-round pick, even if it's lottery protected, something like that, in a deal to move into the top 10 here?
I mean, there are so many shades of gray there. And it's funny you asked that because Goat proposed us a trade that involves the Kongs and our old pal Zach LaVine that has some protections attached to it. We could probably talk about that too on the other side of this break when, to continue this draft conversation with us, we will be joined by the one and only Gilty of that Bulls HQ and Bulls Roundtable. Cannot wait. Hit the like button. It's free. Make sure you're subscribed as well. We'll be right back. CHGO Bulls is brought to you by Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there is no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. I'm guessing that in the fourth quarter of that NBA Finals game last night, odds, were changing. Probability changing. Now you can, with however many games we have left, trade in and out on who will be hoisting that Larry O'Brien trophy. You can do the same with the NHL Finals. Or you can make a bold prediction right now in Kalshi's futures market. Who's going to be the baseball champions this year? For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code ALLNBA to get $10 when you trade 10. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 and over only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply.
Here's some quick math for you. Casamigos plus the World Cup equals gold.
Give me both.
Squared.
I want both.
Two hands, so you can do two things, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it is awesome. It's that World Cup party time, ladies and gentlemen. And since it's that time, you're going to need the Casamigos margarita, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it is amazing and it is awesome. Made with the best simple ingredients, Blanco tequila, lime juice, and natural flavors. Hello, just 110 calories, real juice, 2 flavors, classic lime for me, and Matt likes it a spicy over there for him. And you can maybe try that out at one of our cool watch parties that is going on. Utopian Tailgate, that's happening tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Watch the USA take on Paraguay and watch Matt lose his mind. Bub City, that's happening the very next Friday as they take on Australia. And Joe's on Weed is happening on the 25th. They are playing Turkey. So whether you're coming from your favorite spot or stocking up at home, make it Casamigos. Visit allchgo.com/events to RSVP for any and all USMNT watch parties.
CHGO Bulls back, rolling along Thursday. Thanks for being here with us, Bulls Nation. Before we bring in our guest for the day, wanted to, speaking of Casamigos and those fun USA World Cup watch parties that we got going on, first one tomorrow. Hope to see y'all there. We'll be there. We also just today dropped new releases in that All-City merch store. Store.allcitynetwork.com. You can find World Cup gear, y'all. We got our All-City mascot, Nux, rocking some red, white, and blue. We got a bunch of cool different designs. All the All-City networks have their own respective All-City flags with a little red, white, and blue fused in there. They are really dope. I was looking at them earlier today. I'm probably going to cop myself one or two.
That one in the upper right, it's got my eyes on it.
What are you talking about?
The white one with the red, white, and blue on the CHGO.
That do look like
that's my go-to.
Yeah.
That's a Steven shirt for sure.
That's a Steven.
And it could be your shirt too. Just, again, head to store.allcitynetwork.com. Right at the top of that page, you will see new releases. And under that thing that says new releases, you will see a bunch of awesome World Cup gear.
Sounds good.
With that, let us bring in our guest for the day. Very excited about this. Been meaning to get him on for a while. You are probably familiar with his work both as the head moderator for that Bulls HQ Discord, originally the brainchild of our old pal Mark K.
Yeah.
Gilty took over for him. You can also catch him doing regular episodes of the Roundtables podcast. They got a great crew. Shout out to Michael Walton, our guy from way back when. Shout out to Kurt. Shout out to Daddy Joe Pep. Everybody else who's coming through their crew. Really great stuff that they're providing for the Bulls community right now. You can follow him on Twitter at Gilty Pleasure. That is pleasure with the Z. Please welcome to CHGO Bulls making his debut, the one and only Jordan Gilty. Hey! Gilty, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Chicago? Let's go, baby. How y'all doing?
Ooh, dulcet tones right out of the gate.
Like just walked in like that off the street. Off the street.
How you
Had to
guys
take the
doing? Can you
toothpick
guys
out
even
just to
see me?
do it.
I mean, can you see me? There we go. That's better.
There
How we
you
doing,
are.
guys?
We see you,
Send her
man.
that beautiful mug in camera for us, buddy.
got you.
How we
You feel
doing?
me? How you guys doing? I'm doing really good, guys. I can't believe I'm sitting here, to be honest. I kind of feel like I'm dreaming, to be real.
Well, let me wake you up real quick because I got a question for you, sir. Got a question.
Okay.
The name Gilty.
Mm-hmm.
Where does this come from, sir? How did you come about this name with the pleasure?
It's my last name. Big Dave, being tan like we are, it was quite a struggle growing up, getting in trouble with the last name Gilty. So it while I got in trouble, it also kept me out of trouble growing up. But yeah, man, it's just one of those things, like what's your guilty pleasure, and why not make a play on your own last name with it?
Smart man. I dig this a lot.
So we were just talking before you joined us, Gilty, about the reporting yesterday that Bryson Graham might be trying to move himself back into that top 10 for a second pick after 4 because he is a big old fan of Keaton Wagler, and Wagler was one of several of that top tier of guards projected to go 5 through 10 that he and the Bulls brought in for pre-draft workouts. They brought in Flemings as well. They brought in Acuff. What do you make of this talk, man?
Man, Peck, you know me, dude. I'm juiced, man. I'm two places, right? Because not to get like emotional or anything, like we'll talk about it later. But like just with the passing of Stacey, my head's just been like, it's been down, dude. But like at the same time, it's like as a Bulls fan, it's the most exciting time because of these moves. You know what I mean? Like I feel like just pinch me. There's so much going on. You know what I mean? Like it's that meme. I don't know if you guys know the LeBron James meme where he's looking up at the sky. He goes, I can't believe it's my life. Like you're seeing these reports. The Bulls got the best coaching candidates coming through. Even if we don't get them, we're in conversations. We got the best draft prospects coming up. We're moving into the draft. I mean, like, what is this? You know what? We can't go wrong, dude. My head's about to explode. Seriously, I'm so happy to be here with you guys right now.
So many positive vibes the last month. I don't know what to do with my hands. It's crazy.
We have to be dreaming at this point.
Now, I did see your face when the name Keegan Wagler was mentioned, sir. So, yeah, that one right there. So, talk to me because I'm a fan. You got to talk to me about Wagler and where you're at with this, sir.
So my thing is, I like Wagler, and I'm not going to be upset if we grab him. I just prefer, a guy like Mikel Brown Jr. I honestly would even take Acuff over Wagler. It's just like if we're going to go for a guard, you got to give me. I might even take LeBaron Filan over Wagler. I think Wagler is going to be. I think he's a safe pick. He's a sweet boy. He's a sweet boy. He gets the job done. But like, man,
the more you keep talking, Gilty, the more you're hurting Big J's feelings.
No, I'm cool with you.
That's not. It's not.
You tossing
it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just. I like I said, I'd be happy if we get Wagler, but like. If we get Acuff, I'm elated. If we get LeBaron Filan, I'm excited. If you give me Mikel Brown Jr., I'm juiced. If you get Wagler, I'm like, all right, that's good. You got a Diet Coke. I'm trying to ask for tequila. You give me a Diet Coke with Wagler, I'm not mad at it.
So what is it about Wagler, though, that got you on the Diet Coke level, sir?
I just think I think I'm immature if we're being honest, because he's a really good player. He's just very safe. There's nothing that excites me about him. Like, what you're getting with him. It's kind of the same. I look at him like Cameron Boozer. Like, Cameron Boozer might have one of the best careers out of all these prospects, and he's coming right into the game polished. Like we talk about ceilings and floors. I think he has probably the highest floor in the top 4. I look at Wagler. Wagler, forgive me. I look at him as the same. He's got a high floor. I don't know how big the ceiling is, but then again, you look at guys like, not to compare them. I know how our fan base likes to get when you make comparisons, but you look at a dude like Steph Curry. you didn't think his ceiling would be as crazy as it is, but like there's room out there for these not top tier athletic guys or not super flashy guys who just have high floors. And I think Wagler can have a really good career. I just wouldn't be, running through a wall if we grab him. Like if they tell me Keaton Wagler's coming to the Bulls, I'm not about to go streaking a la Will Ferrell in old school, I'll be happy about it. He's a good player.
Sound like some light skin hate, brother. That's all I'm saying. You sound like some light skin hate. That's all I'm saying. You threw Steph in there too, and it just sound like just a little bit, Gilty. That's all I'm saying.
It's just a safe prospect. I think that's what I'm saying. I'm immature. I just want something exciting. It's the first time the Bulls have been linked in exciting conversations for as long as I've been watching. Like I started watching the D Rose years. I didn't get to see Mike. I didn't get to see those cool years. So I've been kind of hurting since the Rose years. So like now we're doing exciting things. I don't want safe, man. Like let's go. I have to watch my. Let's go all the way. Let's go all the way. Let's get excited.
Not being a fan of safe, but wanting this Bulls fresh start to be electric and bold. I get that. Does that mean if Bryson Graham is forking over future first-round draft capital, maybe, only protected top 5 or top 10 to move up 5 to 10 spots to get that guard he really wants, whether it's Wagler or Acuff or whomever else, that you're on board with him making that bold of a decision?
I support it. I just support the audacity. I support. We've been dealing with Arturas, your favorite guy, Peck, and you, Dave. We've been dealing with AK for so long, where he's sitting on his hands. I would support it. Again, I would support him trying to make those moves. That's something I've been waiting for a long time, for us to like be aggressive in the draft. Like that draft where we had where we drafted Modest. I watched Terrence Shannon Jr. fall to the end of the first, and I'm like, yo, make a move, get back in the first. Kalal Ware, I'm like, get back in the first. These kids are falling, and we're just watching them fall. And now with Bryson, we're not watching nobody fall. We're making moves to try to get another lotto pick potentially. So. I'm excited for it. I mean, I just respect the audaciousness, man. Like I don't care if you swing and fail. I support the swing.
So Gilty, with the top 4, obviously we know the names of the top 4 guys. Is there one that you want for the Bulls? Not who you think is going to go to the Bulls. I think we all have a consensus idea of who we think is going to be. But who do you want it to be?
Dream scenario.
Yeah.
Where's my mic? Caleb Wilson. Bring me Caleb Wilson. I know. Okay. Well,
is they're taking Caleb.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair because now, it's consensus now. Like everyone's saying Caleb and Carr. So, all right. If it's not consensus at this point, I like Darryn Peterson. I'm happy with any of the top 4, but I think my next favorite out of Caleb falling to us would have to be because I don't know if AJ falls, but it's hard. Yeah. I'm happy with all those guys. Like I see us all arguing in this fan base like we always do, but like again, you just can't go wrong. We had Doug Tonis on Tuesday, and he's like, dude, like you can't miss in this draft. We're arguing amongst each other, but at this point, like we're winning no matter what. Whoever falls to 4, we're golden. You get Cameron Boozer, you're golden. You get AJ DeBansa. Come on, what are we talking about? Darryn Peterson, what are we talking about? Caleb Wilson, hey, So I like all 4.
So there is maybe a scenario where some team makes a bold move, trades up, and messes around the order of 1, 2, and 3. Say a team takes Caleb at 3, and Boozer also has been taken, and Peterson is sitting there at 4. Some people have reservations and questions and concerns about him still, just because of the way this past year at Kansas has gone, the weird creatine and the cramping and the this and the that. Are you? If he is sitting there at 4 with Darryn Peterson saying, don't overthink this, for the love of God, look at the upside on this guy.
Yeah, if Darryn Peterson falls to us at 4, it's a blessing in disguise, man. We're golden. I understand. I was kind of iffy on him too. Like I knew the talent was there, so I was asking guys all year, like, because I didn't really watch. I was late to watching the college game, so I wasn't watching him live. And I'm like, what's the deal with him? And like I kept seeing him like call out, to sit on the bench during the game, and I'm like, he's just way too talented. Like, is it a kid that just wants to get to the NBA and doesn't care about the draft? But we find out that he had that injury going on. So I think it could be one of those things where people overthink it. And I hope that he falls to us at 4. If we don't end up grabbing Caleb and if Darryn falls to us at 4, you take him 20 times out of 10. That kid's going to be a stud, I think, truly. And I think he's going to play with a chip on his shoulder. He's supposed to be the number 1 pick. Like things have changed so much for him. And if I'm him, I can't speak for him, but like if I'm him, I'm a little ticked off that people are questioning me. I was about to be number one, like how quick they forget. Now my body cramping up and I'm injured, and now like y'all forgot. Like y'all see how I was getting down, and especially the high school tape. You see him in high school, elite prospect, and then just because you got stuff going on, everybody forgets. So if I'm him, man, like I can't wait to get to the league and shut everybody up. So yeah, if he falls to us at 4, you take him and run, man.
Yeah, agreed. So we know what the names are at 4, but 15 is where it gets murky. So if the Bulls are staying there, we've heard names. You mentioned Carr, Maurice Johnson Jr.,
Quaintance,
Mara,
Steinbach.
like all those guys. Who are you looking at the Bulls to take at that number 15 position? And do you share that same ideology of I'm just going for the talent here, not going for the actual fit of whatever player could be on this team?
I think the coolest part about us being Bulls fans, or maybe I'm just delusional and optimistic, is that we suck. So like, you go for talent and need at the same time. So for me, it just depends on who you get at 4, right? Like if we get Cameron Boozer, now I'm looking at a guard. If we get Caleb Wilson, I might be looking at a forward or a guard or a big. So, but guys at 15 that I like Dalen Swain a lot. I did an article on him, and when I was doing an article, it made me look into him. He's probably a guy that I would take in the late 20s, if I'm being honest. But if we take him at 15, I'm excited about that. He's like a do-it-all, jack of all trades, kind of two-way swing man that would be really cool here. And he creates so much offense from the wing spot. Like he creates, like I think his usage rate was, I believe, 24.1. Don't quote me on that, but that's a lot for a dude in college and didn't turn the ball over that much. And like we've been missing just somebody on this team that can create offense outside of, honestly, no one. Like when we had Kobe, like that was kind of our guy, but he had his moments, So like this team right now, as it stands, you bring in a dude like Dalen Swain who's creating off the wing. That's a luxury. I like him. If we go Yaxel, if he's there at 15, I like him. I know he's an older prospect, but again, I think he's a win now, kind of a more polished prospect that would come in. Again, we bring up guys like Phelan. If he's there at 15, I don't know if Mara drops to 15. Maybe a guy like Hannah Steinbach. Steinbach, but yeah, there's a plethora of options for us, man. Like we truly can't go wrong in this draft unless you take Keaton Wagler at 4 or something.
Hatred is strong.
Snuck that
There's
in
a
there
brother
again.
that hatred is strong. Just because he got to put on sunblock, he got to throw the 8 out here on the young man. You know what I'm saying?
God.
You saw the curly mop top bouncing, and you was just like, he ain't got no dog in him.
The kid got the aura. No, he's tough. So shout out. I don't know if you guys know Sonny V from Lockdown Illini. So we have him in the Discord. Shout out to his entire community. So like I had to learn Keaton Wagler. And during the March Madness, I would go in their Discord. Those dudes are hype. It's like the Wolf of Wall Street in there. But like, dude, those Illini fans, they're something else. And like they back Wagler. He's a dog. You know what I mean? Like I said, like I got nothing but respect for him. He's just not my first choice. But if we take him, like I am happy. Like Keaton is a dog. And I think that he has room to grow. You guys shouted out Mike Walden. He wrote an article on the possibility of maybe Keaton Wagler bulking up some more and potentially playing small forward in the NBA at one point. And again, from the wing spot, you add just a knockdown shooter, a la Kevin Martin in a way. He kind of reminds me of. Like again, you're cooking. And I like his effort on defense too. Like he might not be, my boy Kurtz, he had a post and he said like he doesn't want Wagler because he doesn't fit Slap. But I think Slap is also a mindset. It's not just, your physical capabilities. It's a mindset. I think Keaton is a kid that would definitely play with some slap. He's got edge to him. Like I watched him during those Illini games going against UConn. He was one of the only players battling. And like his shot would be slow to fall in the first half. It was a trend I kept seeing. Every first half, he would be slow to get on offense. And then Baby Dre would come in and kind of lead the way for them, keep them in the games. And then the second half, that's when Wagler's shot would start falling. But the whole first half, he's out there battling for rebounds. He's out there making timely passes. He's fighting out there. So, yeah, no, Wagler, he's a goon. I was just, I had to message you, Big Dave. I like Wagler.
I appreciate it. And you're going to get it right back. And it's all I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Bulls Nation, hit that like button for our guy Gilty, who's joining us from Bulls Roundtable. They're doing great work over there. Yeah. Shout out to Buzella's fan who throws a $10 super chat saying, for me, if you got a guy specifically in mind higher than 15, go get him. This is the deepest draft in years. For futures or whatever, trust, I don't mind as a fan. But You better be right. I love how you threw that in there at the end.
Got to nail it. Like, they can't go wrong on these picks, bro. Like, you have to knock both of them out of the park. And I don't want to double. You know what I mean? Like, you got to home run both of these, man. Like, 4 is pretty much your given kind of thing. I don't want to put too much on it, but it feels like you're given. But you after that, you know, this is what you brought Bryson Graham in here for, right? Is to hit on these draft picks, is to make these right decisions. Is if we're going to move up, then you know what you're talking about with the guy that you're going to get. So whether it's Wagler, whether it's Acuff or whoever, you got to knock it out the park, man. It just has to be.
Guilty, we want to talk to you about your story, but before that, because you brought it up earlier, and also we've got a $20 flip side super chat. Appreciate you. Our guy JR from GR saying, hope everybody is holding up well, still coping with the loss of Stacey. If anyone wants to hear his voice still, I highly recommend going back and downloading those old Stacey King, Give Me the Hot Sauce podcast if you haven't already. I mean, those are great. He always had great guests on. Shout out to our guy, Mark Shanowski, who held it down with him on that podcast as his co-host for years. You can always, those are still there. So go listen to those. But, you know, shout out to Flipside for the super chat. And yeah, it's been a tough week for Bulls fans. Guilty, how are you holding up trying to process all of this?
Man, I gotta be careful what I say, man, because like I said, we had Doug on. You came through the chat, so you know. But yeah, like we brought him up towards the end, man, and like I'm like, hold it together. And then as soon as I start talking about him, I start crying on air. So like I gotta be careful, like what I say. I'm not trying to cry on air today, but it's just been hard, man.
Guilty.
No, I just don't want to. I don't want to like be a party pooper on your guys' show, man. I love the vibe of the show. Yeah, if I could be candid, man, it's hard. Like I said, for me, man, I grew up in Chicago for, when I was a kid, and then I moved to the burbs in high school. But like for my formative years, I'm living in Chicago. And like I said, I started watching the Bulls during the D Rose years, so like I felt like D Rose's rookie year, that's my freshman year in high school. I kind of, as I got older and as I grew up, I was growing up with the team. As D Rose got better, I got better. And like Stacey is the narrator of that. I kind of feel like, and Dave, you know how it is living in Chicago, man. Like, it's hard out there, man. And like I feel like Stacey was kind of like a father figure in a way, like just a light amongst some darkness, man. Like there would just be rough times living out there where to close the world out, you turn on a Bulls game, and I'm listening to Bulls games with headphones on to block stuff out that I don't want to hear. And Stacey's that voice that's just keeping you afloat, and just aside from just how awesome of a person he was, dude, just how excited he makes you. You know what I mean? Like nothing, it's not going to be the same. He's one of the biggest goals I had. Like I never thought I'd be covering this team, and I just started covering the team last year. Shout out to Alejandro with On Tap. I was writing articles and started doing roundtable. Shout out to Gavin Dorsey and Mike Walden and like those guys. They go, like I'm sure you guys have seen Mike at the pressers. Like Gavin and Will, I'm sure they've run in, and Gavin got to interview Bryson Graham at the introductory press conference. So I'm watching. I'm like, all right, like maybe next season I'll be, interviewing the players and talking to the players eventually. And like I started working so hard thinking like, oh man, if I do really good work, maybe I'll get to meet Stacey. So that was like my biggest goal. Like I started grinding so hard these past like couple months, just like, all right, man, like we're just going to do really good work and just make good content and bring the community together. And then you get to meet the dude that made your entire childhood and fandom just as good as it was. And literally the morning of his passing, dude, I'm sitting there on the laptop and I'm looking at who's following the Roundtables page. And I found Stacey. And I'm like, all right. And I'm trying to like DM Stacey. And I'm like, I need him to come on the pod, but he didn't have like the option. So I'm looking for his email and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to harass Stacey. Like if I work hard, one day I'll get to meet him in person and tell him like, hey man, I was about to find you, find a way to contact you. And like, I was so excited, and literally 3 hours later he passed, so like, it's just been, I feel like shell shocked. But like doing stuff like this, like talking to Doug on Tuesday and just talking to our community, like this has been a time where we've just been coming together and being there for each other. And it's been helping. Like tonight, we're going to do an episode. I'm going to have like a lot of members from the Bulls community on at 7:30, and we're just going to get together. People I've had differences with, and that just speaks to Stacey right there. Is I said, like, I just want to put everything to rest. Any petty beefs or any just disagreements. You know how we are in this fan base. We're passionate, but I just haven't even had the energy to like argue. Right now, I just want everybody to come together. And so we'll be honoring him tonight at 7:30. But yeah, man, it's been rough, but being here with you too, like, thank you for having me on. It just speaks to him, how we're all feeling it. And yeah, man, it's been hard, but this helps a lot.
It's so true, Dave. What Gilty's saying about that, just the thought of getting a chance to say what's up to Stacey, meaning so much to Bulls fans. Whether you work in the space or trying to, work in the space, or you're just a fan, which is why he always said yes when fans were like, hey, can I come down after the game, get a picture? But, I mean, Dave, you remember our first when we got invited to media day to shoot our intro for Outsiders year 2, and I brought my copy of the Jordan Rules in the hopes that I would run into Sam Smith and have him sign my copy.
Absolutely.
Like, that stuff matters,
amazing.
man.
Yeah.
It truly matters. So, like, Stacey just had that impact on everybody. Whether you were a player on the team, you worked in the Bulls staff somewhere, you were a fellow member of the media, or you were a fan.
Yeah, Stacey was always like a pillar. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, it was just something you wanted to get to. And to meet and just show your love. Like, I think that's what everybody knows. And Gilty is saying the same thing. You just wanted to let him know how much he meant to you. And the fact that I got to say that to him, like, is the things that gives me like closure in these situations like that. The fact that I got to talk to him and have these moments and tell him how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Directly to him and what he meant to my life. Like, even as a player. You know what I mean? Because, any dude that was a big dude that was smooth and hooping, I was watching. Okay? I was watching, dog. And he was one of those guys, you know what I mean, that was like that. And he was tough. Like, he was silly and all that, but he was tough. And I relate to that a lot. You know what I mean? As he said, don't let the smooth taste fool you. So just him, and then just, again, the way he can bring people together. And the kind of – and I saw this a lot when he passed, just people – and people were DMing me this stuff, saying just how much I reminded them of Stacey and, Dave, you got a lot to say and all this stuff. And I used to not like it like years ago when people would say that to me because I like being who I am. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You're a very individual.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I ain't trying to copy him or do anything like Stacey. That's Stacey. But then I had to realize what they were saying. You know what I mean? And hear the love in their voice when they were saying that to me. You know what I mean? And with that, and comparing me to somebody that's up here and saying I'm up on, you remind me of this up here. And now I wear it as an honor. I started wearing it as an honor like a year ago and being like, okay, now that's respect. You know what I mean? Especially after I got to speak to him and talk to him like that. So it's like, so I get you, Gilty. I feel you 100% on that. And with that, let me ask you, do you have a favorite Stacey King moment in your mind that immediately comes to your mind when you're talking about Stacey King?
I think one of the nastiest, everyone's been saying that I want to go higher, but for me, it was, let me step back and kiss myself. When D Rose hit that shot on the bus, remember, he used to bully Brandon Jennings. Like, that was my favorite. D Rose used to tear dudes up, and y'all know how it was. Like, we didn't get the national coverage the first couple of years. We woke the league up, though. And, like, Rondo was trying to bully Rose his rookie year, and it just felt like Stacey, him and D Rose on the same, they were like meant to like be on the team and covering the team at the same time. Like, he narrated that whole thing, man. Like, Stacey got it. Like, I feel like D Rose sparked life in Stacey. So, like, you would just see D Rose out there killing dudes and like Joakim getting hyped and Stacey getting hyped. And when he hit that shot in Milwaukee, man, that step back on Brandon Jennings, and he beat his chest, and Stacey said, "Let me step back and kiss myself, the Windy City Assassin." Yeah. Oh man, that's one of my favorite calls because at that point, that's what D Rose was becoming. He was becoming like an assassin. I remember at that time, like, it didn't matter what the score was. It didn't matter what was happening. I'm like, oh, we're not losing. I think that was our 63 win season. Like, that season, I'm like, we're not losing, man. D Rose just wins games. Luol Deng, they just win games. Like, Joakim Noah, them boys won games. It didn't matter. Like, they played with just that. That was real Chicago energy to me, that grit. And Stacey embodied that, man. So, yeah. The Windy City Assassin was one of my favorite. Or, the big time players made big time plays against Houston. Yeah. Oh, man. I was going to visit my dad and I had to catch a train. I was like 15 and I got a bad whooping because I missed a train. watching that game when D Rose hit that shot, I was like, man, skip the trade. I was like, let's go, baby. He said, big time players, man, big time plays. And my dad called me like, boy, where you at? And I'm like, man, big time players, man, big time plays. I'm gonna tell you something big. I'm gonna tell you something big. Yeah. So that, it's just, that's what I'm saying. Like Stacey, and like I see why they compare you to him, Dave, because he was just so full of life. And like you are the same way. That's what I'm saying, man. Like I could talk to you guys for hours, and I'm not trying to talk too much here. It's just like I'm honored to be here with you guys because like to me, you guys give me the same feeling that Stacey did. Like if it's a hard day or you're just having like a hard time, or like I know for myself, I didn't really start watching the show a lot till this year. And I know like this was like one of the craziest seasons as a fan base. There was so much arguing. Because we've been in turmoil. Like I get it, so like there's been so much unrest. And when I just wanted to like close it all off and just like feel better, I'm like, man, let me go see what they're doing on CHGO. And just like, when you guys have the show and I hear Pep coming in or he throwing the hat or, you coming in, they going like, bow, bow. I'm like, man, me and my girl, we watch like, bow, bow, bow. So it's like.
Pause that thought real quick because we are going to go to a little bit of overtime here on CHGO Bulls because we're not done talking to you yet. If you're watching on one of our streaming partners and platforms and want that bonus coverage from today's show, you just head to allchgo.com. There you go. All right, Gilty. Sorry, I interrupted you talking about me throwing hats and punching people. What were you talking about?
No, yeah, just the energy, man. Like my girl and I, we would just have conversations about like, man, just the energy on this show is so good. Like you guys are just such great people. I've had so many conversations with people. I'm like, I don't care like about your content. Like I don't view myself as a content creator. I'm just a guy that gets to talk about the sport that I grew up playing and the sport that I love, like, and just trying to do good things and have good conversations with good people. That's it. And I feel like CHGO, dude, like it's the same energy that you get from a guy like Stacey, where it's just so full of life on this show. And people can come here, like when things are going bad in life or when it's just dark, you put on CHGO and like you guys just bring life to the community. And like Dave, like especially like both of you guys are just so full of life, man. And I can see why they make those comparisons to you, man. Like for sure. So I'm honored to be here.
Very kind, probably too kind. But I don't like the phrase content creator either. It kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit because it can't really define what it is that anybody and everybody in this space does. But Gilty, I mean, you absolutely provide something to the Bulls fan community. You host podcasts, you write, you engage with people on social media. And all of that truly matters. And, it makes me curious. I know you said you were a freshman in high school when, rookie D Rose is playing the Celtics in the playoffs, incredible. If you can't grow up with the dynasty, that's the second best time.
That's a fact.
To be like, sorry, I'm late, Dad. I was watching Derek. He's too big, too strong, too fast,
That's
too
a
good.
fact.
But so, like, do you recall a specific light bulb moment or a moment where you thought about not just being a fan and maybe a fan who interacted with other Bulls fans on various social media platforms, but a fan who wanted to get more involved than that and do more than that when it comes to podcasting and writing and fan and community engagement and managing a Discord and things like that?
Yeah, so shout out to the GOAT, Mark K. Like I always tell him, I probably annoy Mark with like how much I love that dude. Like I tell him, my man, like Mark, like my big brother, and he's like, Mark. Mark's like, oh, good to you.
We were
Stop it.
last night after Game 4. Just
he don't do compliments, bro.
Yeah, you know how it is. Like we'll talk in DMs. Like it's been like that for years. But like I've kind of grown up under Mark. Like I've known Mark almost going on 6 years now. So like Mark again, like was one of the first people I came across on Bulls Twitter, and we used to argue a lot actually on the timeline, and then I saw I ended up coming into his Discord and like just I was a little punk, just rambunctious, and like I feel like in his Discord he had guys like Steph and Noah in there back then, like you guys, it was like a dude Daniel Greenberg, just like so many people, Will G back then, like, and I like kind of grew up watching how all you guys like conducted yourselves. And I was like, man, like, that's just super cool. Like it's just cool seeing like how they have these different takes, but they're able to converse about it. Like for me growing up, it's like everything's an argument. There is no different take. Like you're an idiot. So like watching guys like have conversation and like actually like talk about things, I'm like, man, that's super cool. So yeah, just honestly growing up through the Discord and just watching the discourse, guys would be saying like, oh, Gilty, like you'd make a good, you should do a podcast, like with your last name and all that. And I'm like, no, man. Maybe one day. And funny story. So I do construction, or I do concrete. And I tore my ACL last October doing jujitsu. You ever seen Family Guy, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Remember when Peter Griffin used to fall and he's like his body would be all contorted?
Yeah.
So I was doing jujitsu and was doing an arm bar. Literally got myself bent backwards like that, and so I was decommissioned from work. I've been out of work since October, and I was like, you know what? Maybe this is the perfect time now to like dive into the Bulls. It's right about to be the Bulls season. I can finally see the Bulls community. And my guy Alejandro, literally at that time, they were putting out people for On Tap for writers, and I was like,
shout out Alejandro.
yeah, absolutely. Shout out to him and shout out to On Tap. And I was like, like, why not? Like, I like to write. Let me see. And from there, man, it just kind of just took off in a way, And then Gavin and the Roundtable started up, and our guy Mike Walden. And again, like he was like, hey, we're looking for writers. And I was like, hey, I'd love to. And one thing has kind of led to another. It's all just happened like so fast. Yeah. So that's why I still like say like I don't really consider myself like a member of the community that it's like a contributing member, because to me, I'm just a dude that has just been like trying to get you guys, how much I DM you like, hey, you guys got to come on our Discord, the Bulls HQ Discord, but it's grown so much. Like everything has kind of happened from that. Like I remember when Mark had it before you guys did CHGO together, before he handed it down to me, you could ask him, like, I literally grew that Discord so much like a madman one summer for no reason. I don't know why. I was just on Twitter DMing everybody like, hey, you guys need to check out Mark K, Bulls HQ. And I was trying to get more conversation there. Like I invited Drew Stevens in there. We talk about that all the time. Like he was just a dude I saw on the timeline, but there was like an energy he had about him. Inviting him in there and just watching. I watched Chris and Lero. They made a show together, and like shout out to Salim. I think you just did an episode with him, right, Big Dave?
I did.
I watch, it's like those guys are like my big brothers, like him, Chris, Lero, Mark, and I watched like so many cool things starting that Discord. They started, I think it was called, for them, it was Bulls 101 for Chris and Lero. And now they're doing Swish Theory. But I literally watched those dudes, like talk amongst each other in the Discord and be like, hey, we just started a podcast one day. And like they just love to talk. And then next thing I know, they're doing that. And then you watch how things take off. And just watching things like that happen organically, it just kind of puts those thoughts in your mind like, why not? Why not you? You just never know what could happen in life. Just make good connections, be a good person, and just let the rest take care of itself. So like I still can't believe I'm sitting here talking to you two on CHGO, so it's crazy, man. I don't know.
I mean, it's because you're awesome to talk to, man. I popped on roundtables a couple times already. Right. I've been hanging out in the chat on other shows, and like you provide good vibes for this fan base, man, and it's truly appreciated. You also do such a great job of lifting up other members of the community. Like you've been on this tear on Twitter for the last couple of weeks. I've noticed of just taking one day at a time the time to shout out just a member of Bulls fandom on Twitter, and they might not even be somebody with a blog or a podcast or a whatever, but like just active, positive members of the community. Like that is something that should be commended and appreciated, man. Like you're lifting other people up, not just yourself with the work that you're doing. That is truly good work. And sadly, we're past time, and we know you got a show of your own coming up later tonight, as you mentioned. You're going to be talking about Stacey with some of your crew, so we'll let you go. But just quickly before we wrap, let Bulls fans know who might not be familiar with you and your work and your crew yet, where they can find it, whether it's the writing, the podcast, and all of it.
Yeah, thank you so much, man, for those words. You know how much I appreciate you, pal. I told you, like, I look up to you guys, and it's just I'm just honored to be here. Like, so thank you so much. But as far as finding me, yeah, you guys can look me up on Twitter at Gilty Pleasure. It's G-I. Don't put the U in it. All right, that's what got me in trouble when I was young. It's GILTY and then Pleasure PLEAZURE. I almost forgot how to spell it. And then you could follow our page at the Roundtable. So we're starting something at the Bulls Roundtable. You'll see us a lot this upcoming season. I feel like you'll see us a lot. But right now, follow us on Twitter at the Roundtables. TheRoundDtabulls. I'm drawing a blank. And last but not least, hop in our Bulls HQ Discord, man. It's a great time. You guys will see me in the CHGO Discord as well, the Die Hard chats. I've been in there. Shout out to that dude. What's his name? There, you guys got some characters, man. I think his name's Gary Ross or G Ross. Every time I come in. So I came in there.
I can see the face that Steven just made when you say Gary's name.
What is Gary? So when I came in there, I came in there and it was the diehard chat though. It wasn't even the Bulls chat. It was like during the football season. Like so much news was going on. I'm like, hey, how we doing? And they were like, oh, who's Gilty? They goes, oh, he's friends with Gary, so that tells us everything. I'm like, who's Gary? Like, what is Gary do? And then when I see Gary, he's always the first one to tag you, Will, and Dave and be like, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this? So shout out to Gary. And shout out to Trick Daddy Dexter. I don't know who that is, but his picture cracks me up.
I met him,
in
bro.
our live chat all the time.
He out in VA, man. I met him, bro. He came to a Bulls game. He's a good dude.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys got a great community, man. Truly.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, as do you.
Thanks
We're
for being
all
a
part
part
of
of
it.
it, for sure.
Thank you for coming on, Gilty. Wonderful
pleasure.
chatting
Thank
with
you
you
for
on
having
our
me.
platform. Won't be the last time. Bulls Nation, you've heard him. Gilty, pleasure with a Z is where you can follow them on Twitter, and then they got links to all their other great stuff from there. Check them out. They're doing a show later tonight. That's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow live at 4 with our guy Goat for our last episode of the week. Until then, Big Dave Bow, BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Make sure you're checking out those awesome draft profiles from Goat, plus his latest mock drafts, including trades, available at allchgo.com. Shout out to our guy, King of the Controls, the one and only Steven Nicholas. Guilty.
Stinky.
Much love and appreciation, man. We will talk to you soon.
guys.
Bulls Nation, much love and appreciation to you. Thanks for the super chats, the regular chats, the likes, and the vibes. C-Reb, be good.
Keep that light skin hate to a minimum.
Keaton Wagler, come on down.
We all silly like